Top 10 games banned that are illegal to play. Video games can be banned for, including but not limited to, violence, hate speech, and suggestive content. It's never good news when a game is banned because it can tarnish the reputation of a developer and hurt their sales. So in this video, we are going to tell you about top 10 games banned that are illegal to play. Before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. Dead Rising 3 2013. Perhaps bizarrely, the law in Germany prohibits video games with human-like enemies, meaning that any and all games involving zombies are pretty much a no-go area. Because of this, the highly anticipated Dead Rising 3 was not allowed to be released by Germany's Federal Department for Media Harmful to Young Persons, worried about the effect the game could have on the country's youth. Number 9. MADWORLD. Its core gameplay revolves around the gruesome game show Death Watch, where the bloodier your kills are, the more points you earn. Horrified parents lobbied for the game's total ban, worried about the effect it may have on their kids, despite it certainly not being marketed towards them. It was completely banned in Germany, delayed in Japan, and received the highest possible rating in the UK. Number 8. MANHUNT 2 from 2007. Few titles have reached the level of infamy of Rockstar Games' MANHUNT 2. No stranger to pushing the boundaries to see just what they can get away with, it seems that back in 2007 the studio went just a little bit too far with its gratuitous gore. It was banned in Germany, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, and even the UK, to name just a few. Number 7. CARMAGEDDON 1997. The anti-hero of CARMAGEDDON is Max Damage, a psychotic criminal who gets behind the wheel of a car and runs over as many people as possible. And the more you do this, the more points you rack up. While it was eventually released in the UK after 10 months of appealing, in Brazil it was banned completely as well as in the city of Buenos Aires. Number 6. POSTAL 2. New Zealand went all out in 2004 to stop people from getting their hands on this violent shooter. POSTAL 2 is still considered one of the most offensive games to ever be created, and for good reason. One of the scenes cited specifically by the country's Office of Film and Literature Classification was a moment where the player can, if they so choose, urinate on the enemy, so it's not hard to see why they took so much issue with it. To this day, even owning the game in New Zealand is completely illegal. Number 5. Duke Nukem 3D 1996. Duke's never been particularly conservative or gentle when it comes to defending Earth from armies of invading aliens, but this entry didn't go over well in Brazil. They wound up banning it as part of a crackdown on violent video games in the late 1990s, which also saw other acclaimed first-person shooters like Doom take a hit. Duke Nukem 3D was even censored in the United States, and in Germany it was illegal to advertise it. Number 4. All violent video games and toys. In 2009, the Venezuelan authorities proposed a frustratingly vague bill to ban all violent video games, which, despite contention, went into effect the following year. This law specifically states that people may not import, manufacture, sell, rent, or distribute violent toys or video games, which they define as anything seen to promote or incite violence. Getting caught doing any of those things can land you an incredible 5 years in prison along with hefty fines. Number 3. Silent Hill Homecoming 2008. Their main gripe with Homecoming's content was the use of a drill as a weapon, presumably worrying that this may encourage people to use drills as weapons in the real world. While it was finally released almost a year later, for a while it was completely illegal to sell after being refused classification down under. Number 2. Counter-Strike 2000. The original Counter-Strike was made outright illegal in Brazil, a whole 8 years after it was first released. This is because it allegedly promotes the subversion of public order and attacks the democratic state and law. According to the Brazilian arm of Kotaku, this was more specifically because Counter-Strike is said to teach war strategies and because of its portrayal of Rio's favelas. Number 1. Mortal Kombat 2011. The very first Mortal Kombat was so controversial for its intense violence that it led to the introduction of the ESRB rating system. But for the next 18 years, some people in Australia were desperate to have it totally banned. Finally, when the 2011 reboot was released, they got their wish. The Australian authorities refused classification to Mortal Kombat, making it illegal to sell or import copies of the game, citing the trademark fatalities as their reason. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be back soon with another video.